So, hi everyone, and welcome to our Super Saturday call. This is something that we are going to be doing every Saturday. So happy that you're here. Welcome. And we look forward to growing this. Now, I'm Anastasia Darwish. I'm your host for today, depending on where you are. Just very short about me. I saw this opportunity. I looked at it from a health perspective. I'm a business consultant. I looked at it from a business perspective. And to me, it was just 100% go. And I love it. My journey's been incredible. The people I've met have been incredible. And we have the honor of actually partnering up with some incredible people that you're going to hear from today. So first up, I want to actually introduce you to an incredible gentleman. His name is Larry Raskin. He is an ambassador in Zinzino, and he is a true icon in the world of entrepreneurship. He loves building global businesses, helping people gain financial freedom. He has inspired tens of thousands across the world. He is witty, he is authentic, and his ability to simplify processes and how to become successful is truly second to none. He embodies authenticity and also the desire to help people along their way. So, without saying anything more, please help me welcome the incredible Larry Raskin. Larry, over to you.
Thank you, Anastasia. It's good to see everybody. I just want to say good morning and welcome. It's great to see so many excited faces and some people that I recognize from my past. And it's good to have my partner in crime, Stuart Tomc, who you're going to hear from in just a minute. It's really an honor to be here in Asia Pacific tonight and providing you what I believe to be is the single greatest direct selling opportunity of my lifetime. I can't tell you how excited I am because what I believe is to be the most significant shift in wellness in the last 50 years. We're not just talking about supplements, we're talking about a series of tests that can predict the future of our personal health. We're not just talking about a trend that will just fade away when the next shiny thing appears in the marketplace that is saying, hey, look at me. No, we're talking about test-based nutrition, a company that has come along and understood that people are guessing all over the world on what they think works best for their wellness and for their nutrition, but they have no idea. We provide in the opportunity in the company we're going to talk to you tonight about is an evidence-based, personalized, and customized nutrition measured through something so simple yet so revolutionary. A simple at-home dry spot blood test. Think of that. For the very first time, you can see what's happening in your body. Real evidence, real data, and then correct it by providing Nobel Prize level formulations that answer the call. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go over some information and let's see how this Saturday unfolds. So here is the future of personalized nutrition. Let's talk about it. And a lot of people have approached me over my 38-year career in the industry. They've always asked me about opportunities, about companies, about product lines. And I always say that if you're going to invest any time, any money, any resource that you may have, you better have some form of system for evaluating it, not just hope and emotions. A lot of people get hyped up and they really don't have a really good source of information to bounce it off of. But there's really four questions, three major questions. Does it solve a problem? Or is it just like everybody else? Or does it just blend into everything? Is the timing right? Is the company solid? But even if you check all those boxes, number four is most important. What's in it for me? What can I see for myself here? Can I win here? And that is why, we have probably the biggest opportunity of my lifetime in the industry that I've loved for so long. This is just like these billion-dollar companies on the right that solve some of the biggest problems. Airbnb, Amazon, Uber, Netflix. These are all billion-dollar companies. You probably have them on your smartphone, these apps, right? Zinzino is also on that side. We believe that this is a company that is solving a problem no one else is solving. Zinzino is here because the problem that we are solving is simply this. How many of us are taking supplements? How many of us are taking an omega-3 and we believe they're working, right? Well, how many of us know for sure that they're working? Well, let me tell you, it goes back to not really knowing. None of us know. Now, it doesn't mean we didn't try to do what we could, a double-blind study or a random trial, and we do a deep dive, and I don't want to put anything in my mouth I don't research. Personally, I've been taking 25 to 30 supplements a day for 30 years. I spend a lot of money every month on my health. But one thing that random trial doesn't have, one thing that double-blind peer-reviewed study doesn't have, it doesn't have my blood. It doesn't have Anna's blood, Stuart's blood, Craig's blood. And what we're going to talk about is a company that started all this, Zinzino. It's a company that is 20 years old. All through COVID, it grew double digits each and every year. 205 million we recorded in 2024. We shipped to 100 plus markets, and we are a publicly traded company. It's publicly traded on the Scandinavian NASDAQ. We will be a $1 billion company by evaluation by 2028. I truly believe it'll be well in advance of that. And you'll understand why on the next slide. We're pioneering, as I said, test-based nutrition, something that has not been done before on a global scale. And as you see a picture of these couple, husband and wife, Ord and Hilda Sali, they are the founders of Zinzino. They are reps in the field with us. As a matter of fact, there's a gentleman that that recruited my wife, Art Napolitano, and the person that recruited Artie was Orion Sali. I'm second level to the founders of our company. Now, rated by the industry regulators, we're rated AAA plus by the regulatory bodies that measure companies in our space. But the financial overview, it's simple. I would ask you to be somewhat even skeptical of what I say when it comes to some of the things I may say about Zinzino. One thing is our financial strength. The good news about being public is that we're audited. We have audited financials. This came out 2 days ago. What came out? Our third quarter. Our third quarter report came out. This is second quarter. We had a run rate in the end of the second quarter of 305 million. Well, now we have a run rate of over 325 million. Conversations with Orion Sali that we had last weekend, he says we're on a run rate now of 350 million. He's very confident we'll exceed 350 million with the year prior, 205 million. There is something going on with this company. I think you're going to find out tonight because you can't unsee it once you see it. Look at the cash that we have for scaling forward. Look at the gross profit, all the operating profit. Very exciting. Now, there's 4 tests that we have. And when I looked at this, and I was very, very established in a career of 31 years, I was the global vice president of leadership development. I was at that company 31 years. I built it all throughout the United States and around the world. I was the coach of all the top people, recruited most of the top money earners. And I have to tell you, I didn't need to go anywhere. When I saw this, I could not believe what I was looking at, but I didn't understand test-based nutrition. I didn't understand it. But there was a guy, Dr. Colin Robertson, who was the chief product officer, that saw this in 2020. And when he saw it, he just needed to know that what he was seeing was real. Well, let me just tell you, this video I played 100 times, if not 50. And I will tell you, I extrapolated out of that 10-minute video 1 minute for you to listen to right now. This is telling you about the inflammation in our body and how omega-3 is working in the world, why our company is different, and why what we've created is groundbreaking.
As a researcher, we always look to the best available evidence. And there was a paper published in 2018 that concluded that standard omega-3 simply didn't bring about a meaningful change. And that was really where this segue came in. And someone opened up my mind to this company from the Scandinavia, as it was described, called Zinzino. It was a good friend of mine who'd had some health issues and had been advised by his physician to take this product because it was the only one that worked. And I was skeptical because I'd read every kind of report that told me none of it worked. So why would it be different? And the difference came down to two parts that I found compelling. Part one was the fact that it was test-based nutrition. I'm a researcher, I'm a scientist. Test and analysis is everything that we do. If we can't measure it to a certain extent, we don't believe it actually happened. And not only was there a test, but the test was administered and managed by one of the most reputable laboratories in the world. So this captured my interest. I knew that something different was going on here. And then I looked at the product and realized that there was genius behind the innovation. And the genius was really, really simple. Because in nature, wherever we find that omega-3, it's naturally bound to the polyphenol. And what Zinzino had done uniquely and successfully was rebind the polyphenol. So before I looked at anything else, I knew that what we had here was disruptive. It was a huge change to the industry. We see that people are focused on test, on assessing themselves. This grows year on year. People want to know where they're at, what is their status, and what can they do about it. We offer the very best available tests so that you can accurately and reliably see what your status is, see what it is that you need to change. And we work tirelessly towards simplifying the message so that you can understand the very best of the science on terms that mean something to you. So we position ourselves right at the front of a trend that's been building over time. And in fact, to such an extent, we know that we are leading the way, that we are actually forging that path.
So Anastasia, all I can simply say to you is that when I saw this, I said, what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with this? This is so amazing to me that I never thought that there would be an opportunity for me to prove that what I was taking was working. You know, I always wondered why my 115-pound wife took the same amount of supplement that I did. Said adults take too. She's an adult, I'm an adult. Doesn't make any sense. She's 115, I'm 190. Now you're going to have to convert that into your kilos. But the bottom line is just that I weigh a whole lot more than she does, and she's taking the same as I am. I never understood it. Never made any sense. This makes sense. It's dosage related. We're going to talk about that. But it's stop guessing, start testing. No more hoping and believing and blindly believing. There is nothing like knowing, Anastasia. That's the thing for me. You're a great leader. You built massive teams. I'm here to tell you nothing that I saw made more sense than this. And no one in the world was doing it. And we are leading this global megatrend. And so I have to tell you, everyone, that the mission for me and for Stuart, gentlemen, I'm going to introduce it just in a second, is to inspire change in life by improving the health of tens of millions of people around the world, building a better body, easing the suffering of my fellow man. And those that help us help others, we're going to reward them beyond measure. Today, right now, you have the pleasure of listening to somebody is the first call that I made to make sure that I knew what the hell I was looking at. Because this guy is a subject matter expert. He is the former global educator and the global ambassador of the #1 omega-3 company in the world, Nordic Naturals. And he knows all of his friends are these scientists and doctors and researchers at the National Institute of Health, the most respected, one of the most respected institutions, if not the most respected institution in the world in medicine. And I have got to tell you that we have him here on this Saturday. And I have to tell you, Stuart, you've done all of these radio and TV, over 6,000 interviews and podcasts and everything. If you research Stuart, he's just documented beyond measure. I can't wait for you to share with everybody your perspective on what we have here. It's going to be exciting. I'll take it over to you in San Diego, California, to none other than our crown, Mr. Stuart Tomc. I'm going to stop sharing here and turn it over to you, my friend.
Well, thank you, Larry Raskin. It is such an honor to be your friend and your protege. Thank you so much for bringing me into Zinzino. Anastasia, it's always such a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for having me here. What I'm about to share with you, as Larry said, I have learned from the top subject matter experts in omega-3 all over the planet Earth. I was lucky. I had a ringside seat. Now, my personal mission has been to ease the suffering of others. And when I first found these blood spot tests over 20 years ago, I knew it was the ticket. So look at this little report from 2012, from 2012. American health expert urges omega-3 testing to save New Zealand health system millions. What happened? It was going to require a volunteer army to get this done. Look on the left box. Omega-3 health expert and consultant to the World Health Organization, Stuart Tomc, is urging New Zealanders to take an at-home omega-3 blood test in a bid to improve public health and save the national health system millions of dollars. Don't you wish we would have done it? And here we are today. What you're about to hear is 10 times better than any omega-3 story. It's the Zinzino story. It's not 10% better, it's 10 times better. What do I mean? Zinzino says, let's take a test at baseline. Now, don't be afraid. This isn't a vein puncture. It's painless. It takes 1 minute. It's completely anonymous. They never get your data. And then the sample gets sent to a laboratory in Norway that is the biggest database of these dry blood spot tests anywhere for 31 years. And then I thought Nordic Naturals made the best omega-3 in the world, and wow, was I wrong. Zinzino formulated, and I'm not being hyperbolic when I say this, this is the holy grail of omega-3 products, and you're going to learn why. This is different than anything the world has ever seen. And then you get hit in the face with this big red box. I'm out of balance. My omega-3 is insufficient. You get nervous. Don't worry. It's a modifiable risk factor. You get new red blood cells out of the bone marrow every day. They die, they come online. They die, they come online. After 120 days, you retest again. Boom, you're back into balance. It's not 10% better. It's 10 times better. Now, the World Health Organization says 6.3 billion people are deficient in omega-3. If there's one drum to beat every day, all day long, when you care about people, it's this. Imagine if you could offer a test every person in the world needs before they knew they needed it. Because we have a hidden health crisis all over the world. Now, this is what I've learned from the top omega-3 scientists. I'm going to make it simple. Here's how they taught me. Imagine my left fist is omega-6. It's essential. I remember raising my hand. What does that mean? And my professor said, it means that your body doesn't make it. And when we starved the animals of omega-6, they got sick and they die. Okay? And it's largely pro-inflammatory. Dr. Lanz would say, now look at this. Your right fist is omega-3. It's also essential. Your body doesn't produce it, and it's largely anti-inflammatory. Can you just visualize that you want inflammation and anti-inflammation in balance to keep each other in check? Isn't that simple? And if you have more omega-6 and less omega-3, you're out of balance, and that's bad for you, and we're going to tell you why. So scientists are now saying that this test reveals the most important number. That's a big statement that you don't know. If you know your LDL, your HDL, your triglycerides, why don't you know your omega-6-3 ratio or your omega-3 index? 3 parts omega-6, 1 part omega-3 is the safe zone. The average is 25-1. How did we get so far out of balance? Well, the history of food is the history of omega-6 and omega-3. Omega-6s come from seeds. Omega-3s come from greens. Isn't that beautiful? And we were in balance up until the turning point, 1960. Now, it's not a conspiracy. It's industry. We beat the Germans, put a man on the moon. We beat polio. And we had starving children in Appalachia. So what did we do? We started pumping soy into everything. And soy has a lot of omega-6, which is shelf stable, which is great for ultra-processed foods. So we moved from nutrient-dense foods to calorically dense foods, and we threw ourselves totally out of whack. Now, on a cellular level, look at the slide. The healthy cells, if you remember in high school biology, that cell membrane, that's where all the omegas live. See that little cross section down there? Now think of this. Omega-6s are stiff, omega-3s are flexible. When you have the right balance in your cells, the nutrients can get in optimally and metabolic waste products can get out. You have a healthy cell, you're healthy. Your cells are healthy, you're healthy. It's simple. Look at the unhealthy cells on the right. If you're out of balance, that cell membrane is hard and rigid. It's not, nutrients don't get in as effectively. Metabolic waste products don't come out as effectively. And here's the scary part. You don't have the omega-3 to resolve the inflammation. In fact, your body will cannibalize its cells to get that EPA and DHA, and that's why it's such a big deal. And 100% of people alive should take this test. 97% fail the test globally, 99% fail in the United States. I failed miserably. I was totally embarrassed. 95%, listen to this data, 95% of the people that follow the Zinzino regime improve dramatically or pass. That's backed by 1.6 million tests. How did they do it? All standard fish oil. I do not care the brand. Look at the bullet point here. No polyphenols. You heard Colin Robertson at the beginning of the video talking about the polyphenols. He kind of just slipped that in there. Well, let me tell you what they are. They wrap around the omega-3 in nature and they protect the omega-3. Fish don't have omega-3. They accumulate omega-3. Fish has nothing to do with omega-3. They eat algae. And algae has polyphenols around EPA and DHA. And this is the dirty secret in the fish oil world. You strip out the mercury, the PCBs, the dioxins, the fire retardants. Can you imagine how much you have to filter that stuff? And at the end of the day, you have basically pasteurized milk where you strip everything out. You got to put the vitamin A, the vitamin D, and the calcium back in to mean anything. So how did Zinzino crack the code? Listen to this. They went to the land. It's a marriage of land and sea. Can you believe that no one thought of mixing high polyphenolic rich extra virgin olive oil and fish oil ever? Can you imagine no one thought of that? Well, Zinzino did, and they created balance oil where these high polyphenolic rich olive oil source wraps around the omega-3 during the manufacturing on a molecular level. You can't drink olive oil and fish oil and jump up and down. You're not going to get it at all. And this is the proof is in the pudding. I can't tell you how I felt when I got my test results. And then my top friends in the omega-3 space, 5 of the top people at Nordic Naturals are here in Zinzino, and we all failed. What an indictment. I mean, it was a tremendous whoa. And then we all passed. So that's the power of test-based nutrition. Now, the entire product line, and I've done this since 1985, is the best product line I have ever seen. We've got a balance test, a vitamin D test, an A1C test, and we're innovating all the time. This is only available in certain countries around the world right now, but I wanted you to see it. This is the big vision. You heard what Larry said? A series of tests to predict the future of your health. We're a tech company. We're thinking about the future. This gut test, nothing like this has ever existed. What do I mean? All other gut tests measure who's there. It's a stool sample. Who's there? The microbial diversity. This test tells you what they are doing. It measures in your blood the metabolites that are indicators for leaky gut. It's unbelievable. And when you get back into balance, it further moves you towards resilience and away from inflammation. So is the timing right? Before I send it back to Larry, what I love so much about this point in history, Larry's going to talk about the timing. This wasn't right 20 years ago. I tried too early. Now the timing is right. 2 things changed. COVID. Now everybody wants to prick their finger and look at their own blood. I love when Larry says this, randomized controlled trial. They don't have my blood. And number 2, artificial intelligence. That's what's changed. So all you do is go to any AI program and type in anything I'm saying, fact check me all day long. Okay? So look at the center article. An imbalance of 2 healthy fats affects your early death risk, study finds. 500,000 people in the UK Biobank. That's a sample of 85,000. Read that. Look at to the left in neuroscience. This was in 2020. This never made the news. A low omega-3 index which is one of the 11 measurements you get, a low omega-3 index is just a strong predictor of early death as smoking. So when people say to me, well, what's in it for me? I'm sorry, are you having a problem with your miracle ear? A low omega-3 index is just a strong predictor of early death as smoking. Do you get it? What's in it for you? What's beautiful here, you don't need to mention a disease. You don't need to go afoul with the FTC. You just say, look it up yourself. Finally, the National Geographic cover. Anti-inflammation, the science of inflammation and ways to treat it. How about ways to test it? How about a way to get it back into balance? So in summary, this test will reveal the most important number. This is the most important product. 1.5 million tests prove that this stuff really works. It can get you back into balance. You will feel better, act better, and look better. I've never had more energy. I've never been clearer. I've never been more focused on my mission to ease the suffering of others. With you, Larry, and Anastasia, and Artie, and Zinzino, handing the call back to you now, Larry.
Absolutely. Like I say on every call that we do, my brother, if you were my science teacher in elementary school, I would be a scientist. I would be, if you were my science teacher, buddy, I would be a scientist. No doubt. You make it so much fun. But it's all about timing and positioning. You know, to be a trend, you have to have 2.5% of the market. And if you took all of the countries that are in Scandinavia, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark, Iceland, all add the Baltics, 20 years, 1.5% is pre-trend. But for those that are in North America, that's where I am. These slides are mine, but in Australia, there's nothing there. There's nothing in Asia Pacific. Nothing, 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 nothing compared to the population. Here we have 5 million tests. We know we're going to have a billion in sales. You're going to do the same thing commensurately with the potential that you have in Australia. Very, very exciting. But is the company solid? I don't know. I think we're pretty established. 20 years growing. The kind of growth that we have is, I don't know how to even talk about it anymore. What company do you know that's 20 years old that grows 50 to 75% in a year? And that isn't slowing down. As a matter of fact, it's speeding up. We believe we'll be 500 million strong in 2026. So it's very, very exciting. The model is working. Demand is rising. By the end of this year, we'll have 1 million customers with our eyeballs set in the near term, by 2035. 10 million customers. Now, that would make us a $3 to $5 billion company. So when you think of timing and positioning, and we're sitting at maybe 300 million by year end or more, you're looking at a $3 to $5 billion company at the 300 million mark. I'd say that we're the beneficiaries of a lot of growth with our eyes set on by 2050, 100 million customers. And really, there's no one better that I can even think of to go over how you make money than a guy that's made most of it. He has done so many incredible things in our industry. I've known my dear friend Art Napolitano for over 35 years. I've been working with him for 30. He was a top money earner in my former company. I was fortunate enough to recruit Artie and bring him into the company, and now he is my sponsor. He's the one that brought my wife in. I joined my wife, and we couldn't be happier about leading this expansion globally. So at this time, one of the all-time money earners of our industry, a real legend in the industry, folks. Let's hear from none other than Mr. Art Napolitano. Artie, I'm going to send this over to you, my friend.
Well, first of all, Larry, thank you for the kind words. And I'm incredibly humbled that you joined this mission. It really is a mission to help bring the world back into balance. That didn't mean much to us less than 2 years ago, maybe 20 months ago. But when we met Orion Sali, the co-founder of Zinzino, when you and I did the research on many different companies, we said, if we're going to make one last run in business, it's got to be different, it's got to be special, and it's got to be more than just an opportunity to make money. Let's do something meaningful, noble. And that's what we have. We've assembled an amazing group of people. And for all of you in Australia, most of you are there today. Maybe some are from New Zealand or maybe very early morning in the Philippines. We want to offer more and better support, consistent support. So we're looking forward to doing this each week. And when you have superstars like Larry Raskin here to guide and train and present for you, the job is pretty simple. Put people in front of the information. When you have Stuart Tomc, who's earned the nickname the Omega Man, and that's because he's recognized from doctors and researchers as the most knowledgeable person they've ever met on the subject of omega-3. He was hired by the largest fish oil company in the world to educate people. In his own words, he says he's brand agnostic. The fact is, he knows how important this is to human health, and he lives every day with the mission to improve and eat people's lives and ease the pain and suffering of those. So this is your team, guys. All of you have this platform to put people in front of the information. It's my job to talk to some of you that are newer or just a guess about how the money works in Zinzino. Know to start out that we don't use traditional avenues of marketing. We use person-to-person online shops. We each get a shop. You can even get one for free. And 50% of all the customers' money that they spend to buy a product is shared back through the distribution network. And that's what network marketing or direct selling is. It's a distribution network like a franchise system. What I put the pictures of Hilda and Orion here is because one of the reasons Larry and I chose to do this is we realized we had ownership. The top shareholders that weren't sitting in the ivory tower saying, go do this and make money this way, which is fine. They were saying, we believe so much in this comp plan that you're about to learn about that we want to be paid like you. We will be distributors, independent partners. We're not going to be on the board of directors. We are going to get paid like you from the compensation plan because we believe that it can produce very large incomes as well as help people looking for a little extra money or those maybe looking for a career change. You can be an investor in this company. You can own shares like some of us do already, and you can earn a dividend. They've been paying a dividend for about 12 straight years. Now, this couple is a power couple of all power couples, and they are still motivated to build a multi-billion-dollar brand, bring the world back into balance, and have their partners even own the company with them. And that's what you're going to learn about. Start out, you can get a shop for nothing, not the best way to start, but it's a great way to make extra income. We can distribute the products to over 100 countries. We're operating and can recruit and sponsor people in 45 different countries. The Philippines, one of the newest markets. Our co-founder, Orion, is ready to take a tour. He's got events coming up in Malaysia, Taiwan, and Japan. I think there's one other country he's going to, South Korea. So we are putting a lot of effort. And yet Australia, we haven't even scratched the surface. New Zealand, we opened there. I was out for the launch in New Zealand, and still there's very few people that have really captured the vision of what's going to happen in that market. The population in New Zealand, to give you an example, is similar to Australia. And in New Zealand, New Zealand's similar population of Norway, and we've tested more than 2% of the population in Norway. And we haven't done anything yet in New Zealand. So your opportunity is as big as you want it to be. It's a home business where if you acquire a customer, it means you plug them into an online shop, they get educated. You can earn a 10% commission to start, but up to 30%. But most of our customers get a subscription and become a premier customer because they get a big discount on the product. And then they get a free second test at the end of the 4 months. And it really takes 4 months, as Stuart might have mentioned, for to get the real impact of adjusting your omega fatty acid balance in your body. So we test before and after, and that's what happened to me after an incident in my life with a heart issue and 2 stents. I tested. I was 12-1. I was taking omega-3 for 3 years. I switched to Balance Oil, spent about the same money. 4 months later, I took the test again, and I was down to 3.3-1. Now I'm down to 2.2-1, which has incredible health benefits. I'm not making claims, but I encourage you, educate yourself. Google the importance of the omega-6 to 3 ratio in your blood. Go to your AI, and you'll never unsee that again. There is a 15,000 Australian bonus for getting to 100 personal product sales. So the average customer probably is taking 2 to 3 products anyway in Australia. So it's not 100 people. But imagine a 15,000 bonus, what it can do for you. Now, that bonus is spread over a series of months, but that's a phenomenal extra bonus to build a customer base. That's what a real direct selling company is. If you maintain your 25 personal product sales, what's going to happen is you'll double the residual on your organization. That's why we're all motivated to get to 25 product sales. They call you an A team, and you get double residual on all those reorders, and you're eligible to get a refund on your starter kit called an ultimate pack, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. If you ever get to 200 personal customers, you can qualify for a free director's trip. Now, we're going to Bali next year, coming up in March, and I'm going to make a trip to Australia around that time. I talked to Anastasia about this, and I said I'm coming back out to do a tour, and I will talk to you more about this. But you can qualify just for getting customers. Now, what we love about Zinzino is all of our customers are always helping to promote our brand. Why? Because they feel better. They feel the difference. They see the difference. And we have a program called Zinzino for free. If they refer 4 products the same or greater value, their product becomes free. They only pay the shipping. And even the shipping dollars are collected in Zeno Cash to allow them to get free products to try something else and get other discounts. So our customers are helping to build our brand. They're all trying to get Zinzino for free. And you, as a business partner with an online shop, you get a commission on all that. So we encourage you to help your customers get free products. They're happy and you get paid. So let's just talk more about this. Indirect selling, without getting customers, no one makes money. So we each have to do a little bit. No one has to be a superstar. Your ultimate goal is to at least get to 25 product sales a month on your shop. When you got a product as phenomenal as Stuart Tomc says this is, and if he says it, you can bank on it. It is special. There's already 500 million people taking omega-3 around the world, and it's not as good as what we have. We know they should test and not guess. But let's say we also know people that want to make extra money. In the world's economy today, it's upside down in so many places around the world. We know so many people are preparing for retirement without enough money. We know there's people out there that are younger that have no way of buying a home until their late 30s. In the U.S., they just announced the average first home buyer is now 40 years old. Just came out 2 days ago on a television news report. That's crazy. Young people need to wake up. And if we have a normal job, you're exchanging time for money, meaning it's linear. You only get paid based on the hours you work. And the problem with that is every day you go back to work, you're starting at zero. You're creating nothing. That's what Stuart understood as a corporate guy for so many years. He built everybody else's wealth. I said, Stuart, what Larry and I want you to know is you're building your own business within a business, but it's residual based because people stay on these products because they really make a difference and we can prove it. And then you're getting residual income. So you're building upon a network that you're going to create. If you help others to make money, you make money. So let me give you the vision of this. You can choose what's called a partner kit. We have 3 different options. They range Australian dollars from $519 to $1,909 Australian. Now, if you're going to make that investment to start your business, you want to know what you're getting. Well, you're getting a deeply discounted pack of products so you can sample the products. You'd never open a store and not have products on the shelf, and you wouldn't want to recommend something you've never even tried yourself. So we all usually choose this. Now, this is optional, but about 70% of people in the world choose the Ultimate Partner Kit. And the reason they do is you're getting 10 of these balance tests. And these tests become your little employee. What we want to do in your first 30 days is make sure 10 people take this test and they get sent to Vitas Laboratory. If you do that, there is a good chance you are going to add quite a few customer points in your very first month and start making bonus money. I'm going to show you how to earn what we call our fast start bonus and show you how to make a few thousand Australian dollars in your very first few months. So let me show you how that works as part of our training, because this isn't just a presentation today. We're going to do some training for you to make sure you know what you need to do when we get done this presentation. But these little employees, 10 of these tests, you get with the Ultimate Partner Kit. And what if I could show you the best reason why to start with an Ultimate Partner Kit? What if I could show you how to have it reimbursed within 1 year? You can get all that money back, and basically they're giving you $5,590 Australian worth of products and tests for free. Everyone says, what do I have to do? Well, I'm going to show you how that works. At the end of 1 year, your goal is to maintain and have 25 premier customers. That means customers that want the discounted product on a monthly basis. And if you have 25 products being purchased in your 12th month for your store on what we call premier pricing, you will get a full refund of the $1,909, and you can qualify that in your 13th month. See, this is rewarding you for doing what we want to teach you to do anyway. We all want to do is share the good word about being proactive with your health. I don't even want you to focus on selling. All I want you to do is educate people about the most important number they do not know about their health. We have a video that you can share. I created a simple link and a board that educates people about the gut health test, about the Viva product, and about the omega-3 products. I'll be sharing that with everyone. But let's just look at the comp plan in a bigger picture now. We have all these interesting titles. Now, I've worked with Anastasia for a while, and I know she worked all the way up to the diamond rank. She earned that promotion. We have people that have earned other promotions. But the interesting theory here, from bronze to black crown, you only have to build 2 teams. You got to introduce at least 2 partners and build 2 teams to elevate to black crown. You have to have at least 3 teams doing really well to get to black ambassador. President, you're building 4 teams, and then you can add additional teams after that. We've already mentioned the 10 to 30% is your retail from your shop. Someone buys a product, you get a commission. Okay, they call that cash bonuses on personal sales. When you get to 100, we mentioned this one-time $15,000 Australian bonus. We all want that. I hit that last November in the US. That was 11,500. The conversion, it looks like more for you. It's about the same. We all want Zinzino for free, because why wouldn't you want it for free? I'm going to teach you today and train you on the Fast Start bonus as part of our talk today. How to earn $3,750 in your first 120 days. You do not have to wait that long. We've had people do it in 30 days like Stuart did, like Larry did, like I did, like Anna did. But, it's not, if you do it fast, great. We're going to show you how to do it and set the goal for 60 days, but they give you up to 120 days to do some simple things. And basically, our goal is to get you to at least silver in that first 120 days, which pays you normal bonuses plus $3,750. When you help others and you teach them, they earn money, right? We call these different things, but I summarize it as a customer acquisition bonus. You help me learn how to run my shop, how to place an order, how to sign up a customer. When I get a bonus, you get a bonus. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's a win-win scenario. people ask me, well, what if I introduce someone and they have a shop and they're getting more customers than me? I said, no worries. You still earn an overriding commission. It starts out at 10%, but can it be 15% override on every shop in your network on the commissionable sales, and we call those credits of whatever's sold in their shop. And that network could start in Australia. You might be in Sydney. It could go to Adelaide. It could go to Los Angeles. It can go to Greece. It can come back to Brisbane, and you still get overrides paid to you. There's another way to earn. Each time you get promoted to a new position, there's several different rank advancement bonuses, and these are significant. Now, that's a whole different training to learn how that works, but it's like a traditional business, right? You go from a basic employee to a manager, you're probably getting a bonus. You go to a senior manager, you go to a director, you go to a vice president, and so forth. So the same thing works here. When you get to president, by the way, that bonus is quite significant, and it's like 100,000 euros, I think it is, for hitting president. What's really interesting to me is when Larry and I looked at it, I said, Larry, we've never seen this before in all the years we've been in direct selling. When you introduce somebody, you always want them to do well, but in this case, you have an incentive. If you introduce me, you could still earn 5 to 25% matching income bonus. So that means whatever my override on my team is, called a team commission, if I'm earning $1,000 a month, you can earn up to $250 as your matching income bonus. What if I was earning $1,000 a week, or $10,000 a week, or more? Which, by the way, I am. You'd be getting up to 25% of that. How many people would you like to introduce to Zinzino? This incentivized me to want to introduce a lot more than 2 or 3 or 4 people. Then as you get to director and these higher levels, it's like every other, business, traditional. You get to the higher levels, they pay you extra bonuses, volume bonuses. So the more your team produces in sales above and beyond the other positions, you can get up to 4%. You can earn shares in this company. As you hit president, you start getting shares awarded to you, not options, but shares in a growing company. Remember what Larry said, a run rate that we went from 205 last year, right now targeting 350 million US this year. That's pretty significant. An equity play. We did not have that. We were promised that in our last company, never materialized for whatever reason. Dream vacations are on the table here. So again, you pick a position. You want to be an executive. Platinum diamonds can make $6,000 a month, and that's usually the average residual if you're qualified at diamond. If you're director, goes to over 10,000. You go to Black Crown with 2 line, that's over 30,000 Australian. When I hit Black Ambassador, I'm telling you, I earned far more than that in US dollars, and you could just switch that to US, and that's about, a little more than that is where I've been already. So look at the options here. These are actually documented incomes for moving up because it's based on sales in your organization. And when you get to president, there's 200,000 euros, 300,000 for elite, 500,000. And then it just keeps going up, and it's actually uncapped if you want to keep building a larger and larger team. So this is what got me excited. There was something for everybody, whether you're looking for an extra 1,000 a month as an executive, you're looking for diamond money, you're looking for crown money, Black Crown money. I think that's life altering by there. So we're here to inspire change in life. And how we do that is sharing an opportunity as well as sharing a product. So let's get you started. You pick a pack, you choose, you can always upgrade, but Ultimate Pack is usually the place that most people start because we know eventually you want to get the money all returned to you. So yes, you're investing in your business. We want that return. Here's how you get the full return. You have 2 parts. Pick a pack to join the Fast Start, and you also have to have an auto order. Most companies have a fee every month for their reporting features, their back office, their training. Zinzino builds it into a monthly fee that's 129 Australian. But wait, we don't want you to pay for that either. Here's how it works. When you sign up, you pick your pack, immediately you're given the option to join the Fast Start program by getting an auto order. For that price, you're going to receive one 300 milliliter bottle. You're going to get all your training, and you're going to get a balance test sent to you every 4 months. So you always have a new balance test coming. Now, here's the key. Remember the Zinzino for free? If you do that in your first 30 days with 4 premier customers, that will then eliminate that monthly cost every month as long as you stay qualified for Zinzino for free. You will continue to have that order for free every month. So that is a pretty cool thing. Your back office is now free. Your landing pages, your tests every 4 months is free. Again, customers only get free product. Partners get the benefit of not only eliminating that 129, but let me show you the first steps of the Fast Start program. See, in the Fast Start program, your first 4 customer points, if you qualify, and the value of those sales is credits. Credits is the Zinzino language globally for the value of the sales. So sometimes it is more than 4 products. But if I have 4 premier customer subscriptions, and that means products, it could be one person, could be one household. What happens is you're not only eliminating the 129 fee and now getting free product, etc., but they're going to give you a $150 bonus. So they give us that in the first 30 days. We want every new partner to get that job done. Eliminate the auto order, get free product, and get some money in your pocket for your first 4 products. What is the next step? Within 60 days, we want to go out and sponsor one partner, let's call him A, another partner B. We have what's called a binary system, where we want to teach 2 to teach 2 to teach 2, study the compound effect. You know, if someone offered you a penny, doubled every day for 31 days, or you take $1 million up front, please don't make the mistake and take the $1 million, because in 31 days, you would have over $10 million. That is network distribution at its finest. Each one of us do a little bit. We have a store to get a few customers, and then it's like a franchise network of 2 getting 2 getting 2. And that's how you build all the way to Black Crown and 30,000 a month, just 2 getting 2 getting 2. So this takes time, yes. Some people do it faster than others, but Zinzino rewards you to get off to a fast start, because if you do this within your first 60 days, and let's say each one takes an ultimate pack like you, that puts $600 Australian in your pocket. So in the first 30 or 60 days, whenever you get this done, you make 600 plus the 150. Now what is our job? Be a good teacher. Lead by example. Coach and help people to earn, help people to learn what we're doing here. That's why we're going to do this again next Saturday and the Saturday after, or you can go to the person in your support team and they'll talk you through this. We all want to see this more than once, I understand. But in your 3rd month, let's help A and B do what you did in your first 60 days. So within 90 days, we're going to help your A and B each enroll 2 partners that each do an ultimate pack. Now, you can do the smaller packs. You just have to do a lot more of them. So again, ultimately, the best way to start is with 10 tests and a lot of product that you can consume. 2 getting 2 getting 2 is the goal. And if you've done this in 90 days, you pick up another 1,800 Australian. And then our 4th step of the fast start is don't sit at just 4 products. In fact, you should do this in your first 30 days. Get to 10 product sales. You know, Stacy and I consume most of those 10 products, or actually more than 10 products here, because we have a little bit bigger portfolio. But you can easily in one household be doing 6 or 8 products between the balance oil, the xenobiotic, 2 the most important products in Viva. And then we have a phenomenal skin serum that's also very good, natural, phenomenal what it does. No harmful ingredients. Just do some research on that as well. So you could easily self-qualify step 1 and 4, but X is Roman numeral 10. That's 10 customer points. with at least 50 credit value of the sales, and that's another 225. So if you did that in your first week or first month, you can pick that bonus up that quickly. All of these bonuses come to 2,775, but there are other bonuses that we're not going to go through the detail. You would have got a retail of about 150. You would have earned an override on the shops in your network of another 300. You would have had enrollment bonuses for sponsoring somebody and teaching them to get their first 4 points. Q team, you pick up a bonus. If they get to 10, you get another bonus. They call these enrollment bonuses. You would have hit a new title. You would have gone from the bronze level to what we call silver level. So you got the rank up bonuses. Again, you don't need to know all this today, but just know if you completed this in your first 120 days, as I described, you would have made $3,750. Again, you could do it faster if you want. It's up to you, or you may never do it if you do nothing. That's a choice. So what happens here? You've hit the fast start bronze. You would have hit the silver level. You would have had enough sales in your team that you'd be doing about 300 a month is a silver, is what the residual is at a silver level. As a silver, you're now going to duplicate yourself. You're going to help your A and B go silver. When you start breaking 4 silvers in your team, you're now earning the executive bonus of $1,350 per month. Now, just to let everyone know, get with the person in your support team. We launched a promotion that's a once-a-year deal. This month, in November, if you introduce 2 partners to the team that each do an ultimate pack, so you sell what we call 6 enrollment points. You sponsor 2 ultimate packs. Now you can do smaller packs, basic and advanced, but you got to do more of them. But just to keep it simple, 2 ultimate packs this month, you're going to get a bonus 1,000 credits to help advance you to this executive and higher levels. So that 1,000 credits is something you can qualify for, and it doubles what we call your Z phone bonus. So again, just know this once a month promotion that you need to learn and take advantage of. It was just announced in the last day or so. When you break 4 executives on the team, which Anastasia did, you break to diamond, that's 6,000. When you're consistently diamond every month, that's what you put in and you can count on for an average income. When you break 4 diamonds, you can look at a crown like Stuart's made. That's 18 Australian a month. And then how do you do it? You know, what I do well is teach simplicity of duplication. And I want to just show you this in Australian dollars, okay? When I started, I said, all these moving parts to the comp plan, what do I teach? What do I do? And 6 months in, I said, Larry, I got it. We need a tracker form. We need a GPS, like where you plug in the destination and you just follow the path. And you know you'll get there. Here's what you teach. This is a teaching tool. Just know this. We talked about Zinzino for free. And again, this is a training. What do? You get your pack. You get your Zinzino for free order. That's your auto order. You want to eliminate that cost by getting 4 products, right, or more. That's 4 personal customer points. The value has to equal 20, or you may need a 5th or 6th product. Okay, like some of our products are less expensive. But you'd earn 150 Australian right away. And that should say your 129, I think, is Australian. That becomes eliminated as soon as you do that. So now you get a balance test free. Sorry, that's a typo. And then over here, you would now say, I want to go to the fast start. I want to say our job is to fill out the chart. So let's say I say, hey, Lily, nice to have you on today. Lily, I'm going to coach you. Here's what we're going to do is we're going to play fill in the blank. Lily, we're going to get this Zinzino for free done in the first 30 days. And now let's go talk to some people who want an opportunity, who want to be maybe a health entrepreneur, who want an online shop. Now, hopefully they'll take the ultimate pack. If they each do, you're going to pick up 600. We're going to teach them Zinzino for free. And we're going to now give them their own sheet and help them do what? Zinzino for free and help them get to get 2. If we all did that, there's another 1,800 with all the bonuses on the table. That puts you up to 3,750. And you could do it in a month. You could do it in 4 months, whatever you want to do. But Lily, that's what we would do. We'd work together and use this as a teaching tool. And every time I pick up the phone and say, Lily, where are you on the chart? Can we help you? And we can work together, and we're incentivized even to put people under people in this structure. You know, we all want a great recruiter in our upline because they're going to need to put people into the team. And so that's a great place to be. Now, I want to share with you a learning tool. This is my YouTube channel. You want to scan this or go to our UNI team, United Networks International. We're a global network of professionals in this industry. We have, I don't know, maybe 100 researchers and doctors that have joined our team. Thank you, Stuart. You brought a lot of them here. But we have a video called The Most Important Number. Now, I recently put together a link that we will share with everyone that is called a board. And I've just redid this board to be cleaner, simpler, and it gives you all the best of Zinzino's videos, all the best of what's on the YouTube. And you don't have to go to YouTube with advertisements. You just send it to somebody and they can educate themselves about the gut health test, the balance test, the balance oil, the Omega Miracle, and they can learn about Viva. And they can see the experts that we've attracted to our team. So all of that is in one link. And I have this now in multiple languages for multiple countries, and I'll be showing you how to get access to that. Basically, you need to be connected through our online community called School, SKOOL. You need to be invited to be part of that. You need to be part of our organization. I know a lot of groups have their own ways of supporting, but you'll get email reminders of global events. You can tie into our global calendar around the world. And again, I'll be posting the links to all these different funnels, really is what they are, a system of educating people for potential customers and partners. As Larry said, it's all about the timing. You know, I just hope you understand what you're sitting on in Australia. And that part of the world is going to be some of the biggest volumes we see in the next couple of years. I'd hate for you to kind of lose your vision here, lose your way, and wake up one day and say, my gosh, they've tested 100,000 people in Australia. They've tested, 100,000 people in New Zealand. My gosh, they're testing over 1 million people around the world and then 20 million. And that's what's going to, I mean, we've already tested 1.5 million. So you get the point. At the end of the day, the summary is, as Larry said, is this a proven company? Yeah, you can check that out for yourself. I read years, quarterlies, financial after financial. Even a friend of mine's company was acquired by them. So I had an inside view of what was going on at Zinzino. Proven products, I would say that yes, test-based. Can you imagine a company saying, our products are great, test for it, and then they don't work? I mean, right? Be logical. If we're testing it, better work, or we'd be out of business. The proof of testing, I wondered, could I actually get anybody to take a test? Stuart, you'll remember this. It was Easter a year ago. I came back from my family's house, and one person, my sister, wanted to take a test. I was not going to talk about this, and my dad asked me not to. I said, Stuart, look at this. And I fanned it out like a deck of cards. I had 14 tests done because once one wanted it, they all wanted to know the number. It was the most important number. They didn't know about their health. And I didn't try to sell them. I just said, I need to educate you about this. I love you. Learn about it. We already know people are making money at all levels, all levels. But really, why are we here? It's not for what they did already for the last 7 years, because really for 13 years they didn't even first 7 years they were doing coffee, so they've only expanded 7 years ago outside of Scandinavia. You're on the ground floor, and that's why we're here. We're not here to convince you. We're here to inspire you. We want to inspire you to take control of your own health, educate your friends and family. We want to educate you to do more with your life, to help pass the word, the good word about what we're doing in Zinzino. I got a couple people I'm just going to ask a couple words from here. I see Ingrid Finnegan on. Ingrid, we had a chance to meet. I know you have, from what Anastasia tells me, you have multi-generations in your family using the Zinzino products. Can you share a little bit about your background and give a quick story to everyone?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Art. And look, I just want to first thank Larry, Art, yourself, the Omega Man, Stuart, and Anastasia for bringing this support to us, because it's so valuable, because we have this, our journeys have got us this space and we just want to get this out more, and just want to thank you. Look, I was looking for something because my son, his 25-year-old, when he was 7, he was diagnosed with Asperger's, and we were told to get his nutrition right for the leaky gut. and it included omegas as well. And for 4 years, we had him taking it. But being Asperger's, they're very stubborn, and he pushed back. And we were just juggling on what fight we were going to take. And we sort of allowed him to stop taking that nutrition. When he turned 18, he started to put a bit of weight on. It was quite a lot. It was a lot of fluid. And we found out that he had a kidney disease that he's had for the last 7 years. I was speaking to Anastasia about, geez, it's just crazy. I just wish I could do something. And she mentioned Zinzino. So we got him on the product, and he registered at 19.1 with, he's non-compliant. He takes it and he doesn't take it. He got down to 9 to 1, and I need to risk test him because I'm sure he's lower now. But the thing is, we got rid of 3 types of medication for him: his thyroid, his blood pressure, and his stanton, his cholesterol tablets. He's looking well, he's thinking well, he's clearer, he's communicating well. And as a mum, this is priceless, My mother, yeah. And my mother, she said, 85, she said, I'm too old for this. And I said, well, how long do you want to keep waking up and not feeling right, So she said, all right, I'll try it. So over the last 6 months, just seeing her face is just full of life. Her eyes are clear and she's thinking clearly. And she's so grateful. And she's actually told her doctor, he said, what are you doing? Because all her levels are really good. And he goes, I'm taking a teaspoon of balance oil. And it's great. So I'm sorry I'm taking up a bit of time, but I just want to say it's also a marriage saver because my cortisol levels are down. I don't know if you've lived with, you guys live with women. We go through menopause and stuff. Cortisol levels are just crazy. We become some other person. Mine are totally under control. I've had it tested. And for some reason, I forgot to reorder. And I was off the product for 3 weeks. And my husband and my daughter said, Mum, what's going on? And they said, can you buy that product and get back onto it? Because I wasn't getting it any other way. So I'm a lifer for Omega, for the balance oil and the Zinzino product, biotic. But look, just in closing, I'm just the mother. I'm a daughter and I'm a friend of people that I'm seeing having transformational changes. So it's my duty now to actually get this out. And I don't care that I'm not a nutritionist or anything like that. I'm communicating with people that have communities, chiropractors, biokinesiologists, nutritionists, people, everyone. And I'm getting the message out there, and I'm feeling really loved with this group here and now I know I can succeed in doing this. I want to thank you so much again for having me say a few words.
Again, Ingrid, thank you for your story, and I'm so happy for you and your family. We hear stories like this, and they're remarkable, and they're so different. And as I've learned from Stuart, when you get in balance, your body is actually, working better and is building a better body. Now, we're not making health claims that what it does, and you always should listen to your doctor. But crazy, I've been educating my doctor, showing him studies that he said, "Can I get that link?" So that's why it's been remarkable what we've been able to do. Look, at this point, we're really wind up the call, but if any of you, since it's a small enough group, is there anybody else that would like to just share, a story about, just to take a minute to share? I know I see Lily on here. Hi, Lily. How you doing? I know you're working in a team out in, I think, Brisbane. Is that right? No, you're in Melbourne. I heard Lily's
I'm in Melbourne. I'm a Melbourneian, yes. And I'm so excited. Honestly, I'm really, really passionate. I've got about maybe close to 10 guests going in next week. And they're all, I'm dealing with them a little bit differently, which I probably need more help. But I'm basically talking very simple and saying, hey, omega-3 is essential. And I've been taking Nordic for 20 years. And when I had, it was bioceutical and then changed to Nordic. And when I did have my test, I was close to 10. So I was very disappointed. And I'm passionately going and saying, take it because it's not something your body makes. Just give it a go, have a test. And when I bought my kit, I practically gave all the, tests and the bottles for free to people. and then they come back, and now at least I've got 4, 5, 6, and I'm trying to actually convince some of them who got bigger family to buy the ultimate kit because it's easier to go forward. But the good thing I'm receiving from the people is that the brain fog is not there, and the nurse that works in a aged care, her son is autistic and he's 36 years old, and he had psoriasis on the arm, and she's telling me that he is so much better, is unbelievable, considering that he's only been on it what a month, 2 months, Peter. It's, I guess for the younger people, it works faster than the older people. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but yeah, it's incredible. And yeah, I've got people who've been taking supplements, and I said, just drop it. It's not going to work. Just give it a go. Just do the test, as you say. I think the testing is very important. I reached out to my cousin in US. They live in somewhere called Calabasas, and they have got their family there are over 20, 25 people, and they got a lot of money, and they just lost a young wife and inflammation and everything. So I'm telling them, please take the test. So I'm getting them going at the moment.
Well,
so I think it's great stuff.
Lily, thank you for
Anastasia.
sharing. I did not know your story, and I think all of us are really happy for your success. And again, we need a lot more partners, and we need a lot more people listening in next week. And Larry, Stuart, and myself will all try to be here, but eventually we're going to help you guys take over the reins. You already have some great speakers already on this call that know what they're doing. We're glad to give you that third-party support. And like I said, after the new year, Stacy and we're going to be coming out and doing another tour out there. So we're going to get to know everybody even better. Again, we're running over the time, but as long as anybody else wants to say hello, that's okay. Anastasia?
Me. Okay.
Yes.
Firstly, it's always a pleasure and an honor to host. And I want to say a big thank you to you, Art, to you, Stuart, and to Larry, because to have that support is truly exceptional. My story, and I'm going to keep it really short, is I had my own health journey, but when I saw Zinzino, I looked at it from a business perspective. And I thought, you know what? I know I've got 30 different supplements in the wardrobe, in the cupboard, in the pantry. So what? I'll try one more, right? But I saw the business and I looked at it, and it said, it's a publicly listed company. We're in $1 trillion industry. It's a health tech, science-backed product, and we can test, so we know. And that to me made all the difference. The fact that it helped me change my life from a health perspective in 3 weeks, that to me was one of those miracle blessings that I didn't expect. So I went on my journey. I shared it with everybody. I don't have a wellness background, and I share that because some people are going, but what do I know about wellness? You don't have to. When you're actually on the product and you see what it does, and you can see what it does for other people, it really blows your mind, and it gives you that belief. So I just wanted to share that because I know this is something we can build. I know Australia is right at the beginning, and I know we can blow this up because the amount of people we can help is next level. So that's what I wanted to share.
Well, again, thank you. And again, we're building a team across all organizations. And just for the people here, I'm going to share this just to close out the meeting. Some of you have been seeing this link. I've actually got the next generation of this that I'm on a work. Stuart's been helping me with to make it cleaner, simpler, less busy, and give you some menus. But basically, the point is here, a healthy person has 1,000 dreams, an unwell man or person just has one. If you believe knowing is better than guessing, then this information is for you when it comes to nutrition. This is the video, most important number. At one point, we were having 1,000 views a month on our YouTube channel, and just keeping it that simple, showing this video has created over 20,000 customers. This is Stuart's The Omega Miracle video. And this is the PubMed study that talks about the risks of being out of balance. This is the Balance Oil story. This is one of our doctors that has over 200 personal customers being interviewed for a TV show in Canada. And she actually tested the TV host, and this was her second time on to discuss her results. This is the new gut health video. This is Dr. Colin Robinson being on the news. This is about xenobiotic. This is an interview with Stuart and Dr. Michael Lewis, founder of the Brain Health Research Institute. Here's the study. This is Dr. Colin Robinson, Why Test-Based Nutrition. And then look at all the doctors, Dr. Michael Garko, Dr. Jackie Fleury, Professor Premji, Stuart Tomc, Ala, Joseph, Dr. Kim. And this is just some. I haven't even shared everything with you, but I've got this set up now in even a better format, simpler, not overwhelming for someone. Stuart and I worked on this for the last several days, and we're going to have it available for each country based on their product line in all these different languages. Why? Because we want to make it simpler. Can you just share a link to somebody and say, do us a little bit of research or do a lot? It's up to you. But at least they'll just get to the first video or two. We start there. If they're interested, they can dig as deep as they want to dig. So again, hopefully this will help you. Again, Lily, you're working some contacts in the US. You would want a different link. So I'll be sharing all these once I get the sign off from my inner circle, and we'll put them all in the school community. And we'll go from there. All right, guys, don't forget, next Saturday, same time, same Zoom link. We'll all be back for the rest of November. We want to make it a November to remember so that we all have a better holiday. So, all right, everyone, thank you for joining. Make sure we get our guests on next week in our team. Bye, everyone. Sorry we didn't get to hear from everybody. Hi, Diane. Good to see you. Hi, Fiona. I'm going to stop the recording.
Yeah.
Can you stop the recording, Anastasia? That would be